This week we submit our very first assignment in this course, and that is the Learner's Context and Learning Objectives assignment due on May 18th. And here you'll find some information about the assignment, but also a document that has all the specifics about this particular assignment. The next thing that you'll find here is the rubric that we'll use to evaluate your work. The assignment requirements document gives you information about how to choose a subject. It gives you information about how to determine the scope of your module so that you end up with a manageable project in the 6 weeks that we have left to work on it. It gives you information on what to include in your submission, along with information about the format and how you will be evaluated. Please refer to the videos in the announcements section of the website for guidance on how to complete this project. So for example, the video for week 1, beginning on the second video on the playlist and up to the 5th video, but also the last video, will help you with the specifics for this assignment. And then the video on project feedback actually discusses the ideas that you have and talks about ways to improve. In the assignments section, if you scroll down to the next assignment that comes after this, the paper prototype, you will see some examples of paper prototypes here that contain the content for assignment number 1. So assignment number 1 is embedded into assignment number 2. What you will be able to do with this is look at this sections of the paper prototype to get an idea of what this section looked like, but please bear in mind that their requirements for these papers were slightly different than yours. So use these examples as big picture ideas on what the paper looks like, but then go to the assignment requirements document that we have posted here for you and the rubric so that you know what the requirements are for you. What are the requirements against which you will be held accountable. As part of helping you decide on the scope of your project, I want to share with you a couple of resources that I've found that attempt to give you estimates on how much time it takes to develop 1 hour of training. And the purpose of this is not to scare you, it's not to make you run away for cover or drop the class. It's actually an idea to help you estimate how much content you can include and how much interactivity you can include, but still make it feasible for you. Now these websites vary in terms of how much they say that you will need to develop 1 hour training. Bear in mind that they consider different things like whether the communication with a subject matter expert is included or not. And of course many of you are going to be your own subject matter experts. So take this with a grain of salt and think about what type of technologies and how much interactivity, how advanced the e-learning they're talking about, and decide whether that matches what you want to do, and then think about how this can help you shape your project. Again, don't be scared, just make sure that this helps you stay realistic when you're deciding the scope of your project. So the first one is one by ASTD, and it's an article about the time to develop a 1 hour training. You also have another article that gives you some estimates on development time, and it depends on what type of software you have. You have the true cost of 1 hour of learning. You have an article, it's actually a presentation by Chapman. How long does it take for you to develop 1 hour training? And this one pertains particularly to Articulate if you chose to use that one. And it's based on community input, and here you're going to find also some ranges in terms of how much it takes. And then the final one is asking you to consider there's differences when you get these numbers that you'll see. There's things that you have to consider. So basically really do an analysis and think critically about what they're giving you, what information they're giving you, and how you can find it useful. And what I'll do is I will give you the links to these websites on this same announcement.